A few hours ago, I decided to make a post on social media exposing my parents and my immediate family in general. Basically, what had been happening for years is that there was a very obvious sort of bias towards my older sister that my parents had in their minds, which also affected their behavior towards us. It was very different. She was always treated slightly better than I was, and even though they had always denied it, I'm not a fool, and I have definitely taken note of it. I'm around 18, or at least I'm turning 18 in a couple of days, and my parents had promised me that they were going to take me on a trip to a country of my choice for my birthday. I was even allowed to include my cousin on this trip. She's my maternal aunt's daughter, and she's actually more of a sister to me than my biological sister has ever been. So I was very excited for it because I had decided I was going to go to Greece, since it's always been very exciting to me. I had discussed everything with my parents. They were on board with it, and everything was planned. And in the past 2 years, we had actually started repairing our relationship with one another. And I did not resent them as much as I used to before, when my sister was around more often. After she graduated high school, she decided to go to college out of state, and since then, she's been staying there. She's 22 now, and she only comes back for holidays. Whenever she's around, obviously I get a little less attention, but for the rest of the year, my parents have been treating me well, and in my head, I had decided to give them a chance, so I was allowing them to get closer to me. But clearly, that was a foolish decision. I should have known that for them, my sister was always going to be the top priority and never me. They just proved it to me beyond a doubt by doing what they did last evening. Basically, there are just a couple of days to go before my birthday, and on the day of my birthday, we had flight tickets to start our trip. All the plans had been made, the reservations made, but they still cancelled all of it. And they didn't even ask me before doing that. They just did it. Why was that? Well, my sister happened to get engaged to her boyfriend, and she wanted them to come and visit her because she had finals in a couple of weeks, so she didn't want to come all the way to visit us. But she thought that it would be possible for us to come and see her, and I probably would have thought that this was not intentional. But I'm sure that it was, because she never has been able to stand the idea of not being the center of attention, and also she knew what the plans were for my 18th birthday. She said that she was hosting an engagement party in a couple of days, and she wanted us to be there. She had called our parents on FaceTime last evening, and I thought that they were going to tell her that they really appreciated it. But they had plans already, and they couldn't cancel anything. But instead, they told her that they would definitely be there, and so would I. And when I heard that, I obviously couldn't take it well, because they had raised my hopes, and I was very upset that they were saying that they were going to cancel everything to go and meet her. I started arguing with them, telling them that they had already made certain promises to me. They had been raising my hopes for months, so they couldn't just do this to me at the last minute. But then they started saying that I was being a brat, and that I needed to be more considerate of my sister because she obviously couldn't fly down here, so we had to go to her. They said that birthdays come and go every year, but in all probability she's just going to get engaged once, and they don't want to miss any part of it. And I'm not denying the fact that they have a point, but they know for a fact that she and I are not very close. And even though she had been addressing all three of us, I knew for a fact that it wouldn't make a difference for her if I was not there. And in fact, she would probably prefer it, so I tried to convince them somehow to just let me and my cousin go on the trip so that I could have my fun, but they were against that as well. They said we had apparently planned this trip as a family and that my cousin and I were way too young, even though I don't really think that's true. I'm 18, and I know that's pretty young, but my cousin's 20 and she's already been on a couple of solo trips, so she has experience. I would be with good company, and I tried to convince them to let me go, but there was no talking to them. They insisted that we should go visit my sister, and then after the argument got out of hand, they said that if I was not going to go visit my sister with them, then all plans were cancelled, and I was not allowed to go anywhere at all, at least of all the birthday trip that they had planned. It was a huge letdown for me. I was very disappointed, and the fight just got worse. But they were immovable. So I ended up crying myself to sleep because I knew there was nothing to be done anymore. Then, when I woke up this morning, they pretended as if nothing had happened and asked me if I wanted to accompany them on their visit to my sister one last time. They were already packed and everything, and they said that they were leaving in an hour, so if I wanted to come, I could still make it. They already had their tickets, and they were willing to get one for me as well, because the flight was mostly empty. They were making it sound like it was a very irresistible offer for me, which it was not. I told them that I was not going anywhere, that I didn't even want to talk to them, and I thought that it would affect them somehow, but it didn't. They just shrugged and left after giving me a few instructions on how to stay home alone. Obviously, that was very depressing for me, and just about half an hour after they had left, I decided that I had had enough. And that was when I decided to post on social media, telling everyone about everything that had happened. I didn't know what I was thinking, to be honest. I don't think that I was expecting any sort of reaction from everyone, but I just wanted to get it off my chest somehow. And I was heartbroken, to be very honest. So I was not really thinking straight, and it was not like I had any intention of turning everybody against me. But that's actually what ended up happening. It has been a couple of hours since, and I guess they started receiving messages as soon as they landed. I don't think they had received anything to be concerned about before they took off, but anyway. They have been trying to call me, and I have not been accepting those phone calls. But I have been reading their messages, and basically they think that I have betrayed their trust. They have been calling me names. They've been telling me that I'm selfish, that I'm a spoiled brat and I don't have manners, and I don't think about anybody else apart from myself. They have told me that I'm ruining the family's reputation with my actions. And even my sister has chipped in, saying that she's ashamed of me. To be honest, I don't feel guilty that the rest of the family has seen my post, that they have been commenting in support of me, and that they have been telling my parents off about what they've done. But I do feel kind of weird and guilty about how this kind of information came out. Because even though I've received a lot of supportive comments on my post, I can't help but feel that I should have kept to myself, because this is all very personal, and in a way, I definitely am ruining the family's reputation with my actions. I don't know if I did the right thing or not. I'm kind of conflicted on that. And because emotions are running pretty high right now, I don't trust my judgment right now either. I've spoken to my cousin about it and a couple of friends, and all of them have told me that this is well deserved, that I don't need to worry about anything, but I don't know. So AITA for posting about how my parents treated me and turning the family against them right now. Update 1. Hey, thank you so much to everybody who commented on my post and supported me so much. It's been a few days since my post, and it's my birthday tomorrow, so naturally I was pretty depressed. Nothing was going my way, everything sucked, and I was really convinced that my 18th birthday was going to be the worst. Thankfully though, my cousin came to my rescue, as did my aunt. She was away at college, but she decided to come back and surprise me today, along with my aunt. And they have apparently been planning my birthday all along. After my post, they decided to get the rest of the family to chip in and organize a birthday party for me. And tomorrow in the evening, I have a big birthday bash in store. So I'm really looking forward to it. And I guess my birthday will be salvaged after all. Now, about my parents, things are not better with them at all. I did not respond to any of the messages that they sent me, and most of them were pretty angry and were along the same lines as the previous messages that I had mentioned in my original post. Basically, they were blaming me for everything that had happened, accusing me of being selfish and inconsiderate and spoiled. I did not reply to any of them, and this went on for 2 days before they stopped altogether. I've not heard from them, but my sister did deign to message me and inform me that in light of recent events, my parents have decided to spend the next 2 weeks with her, and I can do as I please. And once again, she felt it necessary to let me know how disappointed she was in me, as if I care. In my original post, I had said that this might have been her plan all along, that she probably asked our parents to come and meet her because she knew that there were plans for my birthday, and some people in the comments said that I was being ridiculous, that people don't act like this, and that I was actually being selfish by assuming that I was important enough for her to pull off a stunt, like especially when it's her engagement, just to tick me off. But trust me, you guys don't know my sister. She's always been a total attention seeker and she hates me. Obviously, we used to fight a lot when we were younger, but with age, she has changed her strategies and tactics. So believe me when I say this, if you guys had grown up in the same household as me and had her as a sister, you would believe exactly what I did, very frankly speaking. Also, to be very honest, for me, it was not the engagement of the timing of it that was problematic. I wouldn't have had a problem if my parents said that they were going to fly down to see her, but they were going to make it back in time for my birthday trip. However, the fact that they were going to cancel everything altogether, and they did it just an hour after that phone call while I was still crying in my room, that's just heartless. I don't know how they brought themselves to do it, but if I had a kid, and if they had been looking forward to something so much, I wouldn't have made them feel that way, and then been so casual about it. But whatever, like I said, I shouldn't have expected better because after all, they have never cared for me, so it was silly of me to think that all of a sudden they were going to be very good parents to me. That's not how it works, and I should have known better. However, I'm fine with all of this now, or at least I'm feeling less miserable about everything that's happened because my aunt and my cousin are staying over right now. In the past couple of days, I have received double the amount of love from everybody else in the family compared to the amount of hate and anger that I have received from my own people, my parents and my sister. So honestly, I'm very grateful for that. I'm very happy that I spoke up and that the rest of the family found out what my parents really are. To be very frank, I had not expected such a huge response. But I'm thankful that there are people who are going to stand by my side because I don't know what's going to happen when my parents come back. They might even kick me out and they'll have the license to do it as well because it's not like I'm a minor anymore. So, honestly speaking, I'm quite worried about my future right now. I'm supposed to start college in the fall. I've been accepted and everything, but I don't know if they're going to support me financially going forward anymore because of everything that's happened. Honestly, I just have no clue what's going to happen. But the fact that so many members of my family are willing to support me gives me some sort of hope for the future. Worst comes to worst, and I guess I'll just do everything on my own, like so many kids all over the country do. It's going to be difficult, I know that. But I'm prepared to tough it out. Update 2. Hey everybody, thank you so much for the birthday wishes, everybody. I know that people don't even know me, and in spite of that, you guys were kind enough to wish me and be so sweet to me in the comment section of my last post. That really means a lot to me, especially considering the fact that things with my family have not been going well recently, but today made up for all of that, I guess. A lot of people showed up, a bunch of my friends and family, and my aunt and my cousin responsible for organizing all of it. And I don't think I'll ever be able to thank them enough for everything that they have done. Our last guest for the birthday party just left about an hour ago. And since then, even though they insisted on helping out to clear up everything, my aunt and cousin told me to get some rest instead and leave everything up to them because I'm the birthday girl after all. And trust me, I had the most fun that I've ever had. I'm sure that the Greece trip would have been great, but today it was special. It meant more to me than anything else would have, especially judging by the kind of support and the kind of things people said to me today. I know that my family has my back and I'm not worried about anything anymore. In fact, now that I'm 18, my aunt has even told me that if I want to, I can move in with her and my cousin and live together. My cousin is a single child, so she would also love to have me around, and as it is, I'm not going to have to stay for long because it's just a couple of months before college starts. My aunt told me that she has spoken to her husband and he's more than willing to help me out so that they can make sure I don't have to end up taking out a student loan or anything of the sort, because that's going to complicate things in the future for me. And I have to say, it's so incredibly kind of them. I don't even have words to thank them anymore. My uncle, unfortunately, was not able to make it because he runs his own company and he can't just get up and leave, but he did send his regards and even called me on FaceTime to wish me well and repeated everything that my aunt had already told me about how welcome I was to come and live with them. Under the usual circumstances, if it had been anybody else at all, I would probably just conclude that they were just trying to be polite or something and would not take their offer seriously. But given the fact it's my aunt and my uncle, I do take them seriously because I know for a fact that they love me. I have spent many holidays with them. I've stayed with them for weeks in the past and they treat me like their own daughter. And unlike my sister, my cousin is never jealous of me either. So I know that they mean everything that they have said to me. And all this aside, they are actually one of the few people who really know how things have been for me with my sister and my parents. The kind of partiality towards my sister that my parents have always shown has never been obvious to anyone. They have usually been very subtle and conscious about that. In fact, it even took me a really long time to realize this, but it was definitely there. However, in front of other people, in front of our family and friends, they were very different and very good to me. So nobody really knew how it was for me. But my cousin did, and occasionally I might have complained to my aunt about it, and of course my uncle knew because of this. These three people, they knew how it was for me, and they were the only people in the family who had known all along. I guess other people might have picked up on it, but they never addressed it with me. My aunt and my uncle, though, had always told me that I was welcome to come live with them, and never seemed to mind the fact that I would spend so much time with them. It never felt like an intrusion, to be very honest. It felt natural. They always made me feel like a part of their family, something that I can't say for my own family. But my parents always called me back. They never let me entertain the idea of living with them or anything because I'm guessing they did not want to appear as bad parents or irresponsible parents in front of the world. It was probably more about preserving their own image and reputation, which would definitely be damaged by one of their daughters choosing to stay away from home with other members of the family. So they always called me back and I always went back because I did not want to disappoint them and also because I was not yet an adult, but this time I think I'm going to leave and I'm not going to come back. Clearly, I'm not a priority for them at all because they're ready to leave me for 2 weeks at home and they have not even bothered to check up on me or how I'm doing. They didn't even wish me on my birthday, so that's that. And I'm done with them, to be very honest. So in a few days, when my aunt and my cousin go back, I'm going to pack up and I'm going to go with them because I think that's what's best for me at this point in time. My parents and my sister should be happy, but I don't think that they will be. I don't care though. I'm prepared for however they choose to react. Update 3. So it's been a week since my last update and my birthday party, and a few days since I moved in with my aunt and my cousin. Obviously, I couldn't bring everything with me, but we are planning on going back in a few days with my uncle's pickup truck so that we can bring more of my stuff here. They live a little distance away from where I used to, and it's going to take me much longer to go and meet my friends. But I guess this has to be done at some point because I'm going to start college and everybody's going to be scattered all over the world soon. Plus, this is what's good for me, so I don't have any regrets about that. Honestly, I'm just glad that I moved in with them because past few days have been crazy fun and I have almost forgotten all about my parents. My aunt, my uncle and my cousin, and of course me. It's the 4 of us in the evening every day, and we talk, we have fun, we play games and then have dinner together and go to sleep. It's been perfectly peaceful, and I guess this is what a real family feels like. Even for the past 2 years, though I had believed that my relationship with my parents was improving, it was nothing of the sort. I couldn't speak to them so freely. Everything was very formal and kind of strained, and that couldn't be helped, but this is much better. Anyway, I know that this will be a nasty shock for my parents when they come back, but I'm gone already and they cannot do anything about it. I'm guessing that they will come back in a few days and they will find me gone and I haven't even left an explanation for them or anything. They don't deserve it, to be very honest. In a few days, my cousin will also go back to college, and even right now she's busy with preparing for finals for most of the day. But she's a good student and everyone has faith in her. So nobody minds that she's spending more time with me in the evening rather than studying all day. When she goes back, things are going to be different. Things will probably calm down a little bit for now. I'm just happy to have her company because it just makes sure that I'm distracted from all the things that have gone wrong in the past couple of weeks. When she leaves, I'm probably going to be forced to confront everything in my own head and I'm going to be forced to think about it. But for now, I'm perfectly happy, staying distracted and not letting myself be bothered by things to do with my family. Also, just a side note for everybody who had been saying that maybe I'm not my parents' kid at all. Maybe there was some sort of affair or whatever involved. I don't think that's the case. There were a lot of speculations that maybe I am my aunt's daughter or something and that maybe I had been given away to my parents to be raised. Stuff like that really makes it weird for me because I know for a fact that it's not the case. For some medical reasons, both my sister and I had tests conducted, and we know for a fact that our parents are our biological parents as well. So coming up with speculations like this just makes it seem like there must be a reason for my parents to behave like this, and tries to justify their behavior somehow. Some people are just not cut out to be good parents, and that's it. So yes, I would like to say that my parents fall under that umbrella, unfortunately, and I can't do anything about it. I'm just lucky enough to have a support system by my side in the form of my uncle, my aunt and my cousin, and wish and hope that everybody has people like this so that they can leave their toxic family. Update 4. So I guess my parents finally came back, and when they noticed I was gone, they were furious. Obviously, their first order of business was to call my aunt and ask where I was, because I guess even they know that I'm the closest to her and the most likely to have left with her. She told them very clearly that I was staying with her, that I had moved in with her because a couple of days back after my previous update, I had gone back home with my uncle with his pickup truck and brought back some of my heavier boxes and stuff as well. So I'm done. I'm all moved out. And there is barely any trace of me in that house anymore. And guess what my parents were most upset about? They were upset about the fact that I had left the house unguarded, as if I was security staff for them or something. Besides, the house was under lock and key, and we live in a pretty safe neighborhood, so I don't know what they were complaining about. I guess they just needed a reason to complain and yell at my aunt or something. But my aunt is not having it. After she had informed them that I was going to be living with them, she hung up. Then they sent her a long email saying that they were glad that she had decided to take me off their hands because I was apparently nothing but a nuisance. I was worth nothing since I was a selfish brat. And I had done absolutely nothing but made them miserable, so they were glad to be rid of me. Well, I guess that makes two of us then, because I'm very glad to be leaving them behind as well. They have never cared for me, and they have proven that they were never cut out to be my parents. I deserved better, and now I'm going to have the life that I deserve, and I couldn't be happier about it. I wish I could say that I felt even a little bad about what they had said about me, but I don't. I know that it's coming from a place of anger and resentment. They just hate the fact that I decided to speak up against them and left them behind instead of tolerating their rubbish for longer. Well, they can't be mad. I don't care anymore. Update 5. Hey, so it's been a couple of months, and about 2 weeks ago I finally started college. I've had no contact with my parents, so naturally it was my aunt and my uncle who dropped me off. And even my cousin surprised me at the very last minute. They helped me settle in, and I've been having a good time. I've made a few friends, and I have kept in touch with my aunt and uncle. I speak to them almost every other day and try to make a point to do so, even if I'm busy. I know they don't really want or expect me to pay them back at any point because that's how they are. They are really just the kindest and nicest people in the world. But I do plan on working very hard. I do plan on proving to them that they made the right choice by supporting me, even when they were under no obligation to do so. I'm going to pay them back in the future somehow, and I'm going to make sure that I'm in a position to do so. As for my cousin, I guess she and I were meant to be sisters because she and I literally speak every day. And I can't wait to see them again. This is going to be a new chapter of my life, and I'm truly very excited. Stay tuned for more stories from Our Girl Relationships.